she carried a lot of weight. She was fluent in Gaelic. She was referred to as, in the LA Times, as the Irish lass of Beverly Hills, blah, blah, whatever. But I did know that store, and I did participate in that store. In other words, being Liz's son, they would have things like mother-daughter fashion shows. Jamie Lee Curtis and Janet Leigh were a part of one. I don't think the one that I was in, or the two that I were in, that Jamie Lee was in. She was definitely older than I was. So I don't know how it was a kid mom, maybe like teeny bop or young lady mom. Just kidding. So that was a big takeaway for me, because I was stuck in these kid portions of these fashion shows, only two, and looking like little Lord Fauntleroy. I remember one outfit in particular, the first time I went out onto the runway alone, and I had a red velvet like suit thingy, short, you know, because boys don't wear long pants until they're whatever. And I just remember being at the end of that, it's in my first book, at the end of that runway, and just flashing, right? Because these were like very, very high-end fashion shows. Like I said, my mother, if she felt like doing the whole show in Gaelic, which was her second language, she would do it, because she could get away with anything in Beverly Hills. Anyone would do anything for her at any time. And especially photo ops, that's, you know, really the only pictures I have with my mother, typical, are in SAKS, at whatever, God, you just take your pick, or at the West Side Racket Club, which is where my parents met. My dad was a swimming instructor, actor slash whatever. And she was like a socialite, well, like, you know, with like, you know, balls to the wall socialite. So these were all photo ops, but I don't have a lot of like young pictures with my mom, like sitting in parks. And well, there's one with this like hat with these like gold braids attached to the hat. One picture in a park, and I'm like, lady, you need to lose the hat and the hair. So, you know, that's like, you know, I don't really remember my mom at that age other than by proxy of work. I would go and visit her. My dad would take me there and visit her. Big thing, whatever. I remember her coming home from work, looking decked out to the tens with gifts, you know, like whatever, you know, from the kids department. And then poof, gone. My mother, you know, ma, boo-hoo, you know, she never touched me, she never held me, she never told me. When I would tell her I love you, she'd say, thank you. So, but these relationships with SAKS continued. I'll sort of kind of maybe bring this to a close in that these relationships did not end in the 70s. When she left fashion in 71 and she quit Bullock's Wilshire, these were makeup artists, hairdressers, famous stylists, bleeding into casting directors and whatever, all worshipped my mother. 20 years, I couldn't get around it. If I said an untoward word about my mother around one of these queens, I mean, you know, I'd be tarred and feathered and shown the door. So I carried that for another 10 years with this sort of like worship, you know, like deification of my mother. Canonization. She didn't make it that far. Well, so anyway, I hope I was true to form in the preview. That's my takeaway. You know, up until 8, just basically living in the store, and then from 8 on, as she transitioned her career again, like, you know, the Pied Piper. That's Liz. Okay, so anyway, like I said, I hope I was true to form. The preview, I try to leave all that, you know, Beverly Hills hubbub aside as much as I can, but this stuff, you know, like, you know, is on me like fish hooks. So I hope you're taking care of yourself right now and being good and caring for those that love and care for you. And tomorrow, same menu of clips, previews, teasers, split shows, everything. And in the meantime, I love you. Bye.